Coming up, the inauguration of President Davis brings excitement for the future of Furman.
Hoping for a more successful football season this fall, a new coach might make the difference.
We'll tell you what changes are ahead for the dining hall.
The housing lottery can be frustrating and disappointing for many students. Will this year be any different?
Those stories and more coming up on the Nightly News.
3, 2.
The following program is produced by students in the Department of Communication Studies at Furman University.
I'm Haley Appleby.
And I'm Lucy Son. Welcome to today's Nightly News. Furman made history last week by inaugurating its first female president. Classes between 10 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. were cancelled in celebration of this event. Blake Stafford reports.
On March 19th, President Elizabeth Davis was officially inaugurated as the 12th president of Furman University. The entire Furman community was invited to attend this historic event. Former President David Shai was present, along with the Board of Trustees and the Advisory Council. President Davis has high hopes for Furman's future.
And so my vision is, as we help provide an educational opportunities for our students, is to expand how Furman is understood as a real contributor to this community and to the state, because I think the more that people understand Furman and our engagement with the community, actually the greater advantages our students will have.
Since her first visit to Furman last spring, President Davis has made an effort to establish relationships with student organizations such as the Student Government Association.
She just really made us all feel comfortable and really made us feel like we were important, and welcomed us and got our goals and was very, very personable, and we were all excited about working with her, and I really believe that she is the best thing for Furman University.
In her inaugural address, President Elizabeth Davis discussed changing the way we view engaged learning here at Furman. Engaged learning has been a fundamental aspect of the Furman education for quite some time now. Will this affect the future of the university? This is Blake Stafford reporting for the Nightly News.
The Furman Dining Hall has made a lot of changes in the past year. Students have mixed opinions. Are there more changes to come? Amanda Cordisco reports.
The Furman Dining Hall, otherwise known as the DH, has been a widely discussed topic. The DH has made some great improvements this year with the addition of the Mongolian grill and also adding a more extensive salad bar. But certain students aren't satisfied, especially vegan students.
It's a little bit more difficult to figure out, like, oh, am I getting enough, vegetables, proteins, like different things like that, rather than having, if I go over there, there's like a chicken station, and then today there were like green beans, but they had meat in them. And so either that's not labeled, or I have to like ask them about it, and it's not as simple as the DH makes it seem like it should be. Even though they are claiming that they're labeling things, like there's a cream soup that they've labeled as vegan, and cream isn't vegan. So it's really frustrating to come into a place where I'm supposed to be provided food and to have to be extra aware.
This year, the DH started a student council in order to show that they care about student opinions. In the past, there have been suggestion boxes, but now they've taken it to a whole new level.
We have meetings once a month, and what we're trying to do is kind of change the format of the DH, try and make it more efficient for the students because it does get busy during the week. And we're trying to extend the hours for those on the weekend so people don't always have to go out and find food. And then we're also trying to add new food items to the paddock menu, and we are in the fall, in the Pea Den, we are putting in a smoothie and a milkshake machine as well, so we are looking forward to that.
Students are already reaping the benefits.
The format in the DH is a lot better than last year, more cohesive for people to walk around in, and there's not so much traffic. And the new waffle maker with the Furman logo is definitely the highlight of my mornings.
Students have noticed the positive changes the DH has made this past year. They are excited for the changes for fall 2015 by the DH Student Council. This is Amanda Cordisco reporting for the Nightly News.
DH goers look forward to a better, healthier future for the fall of 2015.
The Furman Drone Program is bringing home national awards.
And in Greek life, Furman's newest sorority hosted its first ever philanthropy event. Here's Joe Kennedy with our activities segment.
Furman students are known to be very involved in campus organizations and clubs. One club that students know very little about is the Drone Team. Although they're a smaller and newer club, the Drone Team recently brought home yet another national award. Jack Kinnett reports.
The use of drones has grown both as a personal hobby and as a tool for research and experimentation, and Furman is helping lead the way. The Furman Drone Team was recently selected by Business Black Box as the winner of its 2015 Innovation Award, which is given to a person or company who has pushed the limits of what is already understood or possible.
The Furman Drone Team is a group of students led by Professor Conrad of the physics department, and they represent the math and computer science departments, and they're coming together to build drones to win competitions and to help the community.
The Black Box Award, I'm embarrassed to say that I won as the leader of that team, but that team is a whole bunch of people. It's the two students I mentioned, but more importantly, it's students working with Mike Winiski. Mike Winiski is at CTEL, and it was his project, that drone flights in the neighborhoods, that really formed the basis for that, and we won that prize for that activity.
Mike Winiski came to Dr. Conrad and asked about the possibility of using a drone to help verify some of the measurements they'd been taking out in the New Washington Heights and Poe Mill neighborhood. And eventually we started doing test flights out at the Furman Rugby Field with a iPad app for his drone. And after a couple test flights, we partnered up with the Furman Police Department and the local police department and managed to do a couple of night flights at the Poe Mill neighborhood and got some great footage.
A few years ago, a couple of students got together with one of their professors to enjoy one of their hobbies. Today, the Furman Drone Team is not only bringing home national awards, but also providing a service to the community. This is Jack Kinnett congratulating the Furman Drone Team and reporting for the Nightly News.
This past Friday, the women's lacrosse team and Zeta Tau Alpha partnered for a Power in Pink game. The game served as Zeta's first philanthropy event since joining Furman's Greek community. Peyton Dickerson reports.
Think pink, think Zeta!
Okay. This past Friday, the Furman women's lacrosse team and Zeta Tau Alpha partnered up for a Power in Pink game. The game served as Zeta's first philanthropy event after joining Furman's Greek community.
So today was our kickoff event as the newest sorority on campus. Our philanthropy is breast cancer education and awareness. So we've been out here today at the women's lacrosse game, spreading awareness, handing out ribbons, pins to get people more involved and know what we're about here on campus. We've had a really great turnout. Yeah. We're really looking forward to the future.
Even though the women's lacrosse team lost to Coastal Carolina, the Zetas had overwhelming support from not only the teams playing, but the public and students alike.
I was approached at the library today by the Zetas. My roommate was actually out there, and she told me to come at 6 o'clock tonight, so I did, and they had a really great turnout. They had a lot of people come, and I'm a Chi Mega on campus, so I'm also involved in sorority life, but when I saw that Zeta was doing this, I thought that was a great idea, and I'm actually going to go bring that idea back to my sorority, and hopefully we can do something like this, supporting athletics here at Furman through Greek events.
For more information on Zeta and their philanthropy Think Pink, go to www.zetataualpha.org. This is Peyton Dickerson signing off for the Nightly News.
Back to you, Lucy.
As most Furman students know, there is nothing more dreadful than the housing lottery. Many students are getting ready to go through the process. Hope Oganshalee reports.
The lottery is used by Furman University Housing to place students into the residence halls in North Village. Unfortunately, not all students end up where they would like to be, like Julia Watts, who ended up in the Vinings.
So last spring, when I was a sophomore, I entered the lottery with 3 of my friends, and all 4 of us were going abroad in the fall. And we wanted to reserve our spots so that we could ensure that when we came back from abroad, we would be living with friends. And so we entered the lottery every single day like they suggested, and we never got anything, and we never got anything. And finally, summer rolls around, and we still haven't heard anything. At this point, we were on a waiting list.
Unfortunately, not all juniors end up in the Vinings like Julia Watts. Some of them end up in the residence halls. Freshmen and sophomores are expected to live in the dorms and residence halls, and most juniors are expected to live in North Village. But when housing has an overflow, they've placed their extra juniors in the residence hall to keep up beds, which creates some anxiety among students. Knowing about this anxiety among students, Furman University Housing had a meeting with its RAs and frads to inform them about the housing lottery so they can discuss it with their residents.
On Tuesday we had a big RA meeting with a lot of the housing people. They had a really comprehensive program and they showed it all out to us, they answered questions. And later, I believe earlier today, they emailed us a PDF file that we forwarded to all of our residents to let them know what was happening.
Hopefully, most juniors will end up in North Village and not in the dorms or Vinings. We'll just have to wait and see. This is Hope Ogunchile with the Nightly News.
There are less than 50 days until Furman's senior class graduates. Those who plan to enter the workforce face the best job market in years. Danielle Carr reports.
In less than 2 months, Furman University's class of 2015 will be graduating. According to Furman's Office of Planning and Institutional Research, 41% of these students will pursue graduate studies, while 50 to 55% will enter the workforce. The job market has been steadily improving over the past few years and is now the best it's been since the recession for college-educated entrants.
I would say that we are seeing in a lot of the different career-related sources of information that we are privy to, as well as what you're seeing in the media, is true. I think that the market is improving. It's probably one of the best economic environments that our graduates have faced in the last, I'd say, 5 years, maybe longer. I'd say 5 to 7 years. So that is a positive thing for our graduates who are entering the job market this year. And I would say that the job markets that seem to be strongest right now, things related to financial services. I would say things in the health sciences and healthcare services field, anything related to IT, computer science. Engineering is always strong, but that's obviously not relevant for us being a liberal arts school. Anything related to business seems to be doing pretty well too.
Furman University's Career Service Center seeks to prepare upcoming graduates for entering the job market. A number of seniors have already found success in the job search this year.
I think it's really important to find an internship where you're going to get a lot of experience. Maybe not go for the big name, but something that you're going to get a lot of hands-on. Where in the interview you can tell a story, you can tell what you really learned and why you're an outstanding candidate. I think that's so important.
Over 700 students are expected to graduate from Furman University this May. The Malone Career Center is equipped with the services and tools to help those entering the job market feel more at ease. It is open Monday through Friday and located in the Trone Center. This is Danielle Carr, signing off for the Nightly News.
Commencement will be held at 7:30 p.m. on May 9th at the Paladin Stadium.
After a 3-8 season, the Furman football team is getting defensive.
Let's go to Graham Reynolds for more details.
In Furman athletics, the football team is in the midst of spring practice, preparing for the 2015 season. There is also a new addition to the coaching staff. David Dingus reports.
The Furman football team continued their spring practice this week after a disappointing 3-8 record last season. To go along with the 3-8 record, the Furman defense was ranked third worst in the Southern Conference. Looking to improve their defense, Furman head coach Bruce Fowler hired a new defensive coordinator, Kyle Gillenwater.
Well, I think first off, as a coach, he brings a lot of experience. He's coordinated at James Madison, which has been, a perennial, top FCS program. Had some of the best defenses in the country during his time there as a defensive coordinator, and been involved in the national championship team in 2004, and has an outstanding track record of developing players at linebacker and on his defense.
While at James Madison, he coached a defense that helped defeat Division I power Virginia Tech, who the Paladins will face this season.
I think when you look at the rich history that Furman's had in the past, we need to get back on track and be a dominant defensive force in the league, be competitive for the league championship, and look to get a playoff berth. And, we're making small strides right now and continue to work forward, and hopefully we can get there.
The Furman football team continues their spring practice this week, and it ends their spring with their annual spring game on March 28th. The Furman defense and their new defensive coordinator will be put to the test against Coastal Carolina to open the season next September here in Paladin Stadium. This is David Dingus reporting for the Nightly News.
After kicking off the season with Coastal Carolina, the Paladins will then play back-to-back Division I opponents, University of Central Florida and Virginia Tech. In next week's sports segment, Furman baseball will be the focus. The team season is well underway. So far, the spotlight has been on the new freshman class of players, one of the best that Furman has ever seen. That's all for sports. Lucy, back to you.
The Film Studies minor is one of 11 minors offered at Furman. Student interest in film studies has been on the rise. Emily Venue reports.
The film studies courses can be found in modern literature, language, Asian studies, communications, and English departments. Each course has a required media lab where students view the films that they then talk about in class. Great Film Directors is one of the classes offered this spring for Film Studies minors. The professor, Dr. Richard Lettieri, is also the chair of the department.
So the Film Studies minor has been around for approximately 2 years, and in that time period we've gained somewhere around 16 to 20 minors, which sits us about as the second or third most popular minor, behind poverty studies and probably around the same number as Islamic studies. There's a lot of courses in the curriculum that look at film for how they represent history, or maybe they talk about religion, but they don't actually look at style and technique. And that was one of our requirements.
Certain students have been inspired to declare the Film Studies minor after taking one class.
So I'm a Film Studies minor. I declared this semester, although I've had it on my list of my to-do list for like 2 years now. The first class I took was with Dr. Hausman, and he's really what inspired me to become a film minor. He's such a great teacher. It was reading film, and it was the first time I watched films from all over the place.
In the fall of 2015, there will be 3 film classes offered: Understanding Modern Japan Through Film, Media Criticism, and Stardom and Identity.
Film studies courses are taught here in Furman Hall, where you can also find Dr. Lettieri's office if you are interested in declaring a film studies minor. I'm Emily Vignone, signing off for the Nightly News.
That's the Nightly News for this week.
Turn to Channel 20 and watch on YouTube for all your Furman news.
Take care and goodbye.
Thank you.